Talofa Lava, welcome to our very first video. We are so excited to share this journey with you. This channel is all about us, our adventures, our daily life, and how we're growing together. From cooking with family to exploring islands, we want you to experience it all through my eyes and our hearts. So hit that subscribe button and come along with us on this beautiful journey. Fafatai, and see you soon.
So we are so excited to have you join us on our trip to Samoa. It was a beautiful way for Ishy to finally go home to see Nana and Papa, connect with his roots, spend time with the extended family. And it has been one of his goals to start this channel and to explore his heritage, spend time with family, deep dive into the culture. And it was definitely not smooth sailing getting here. We didn't actually think we'd all make it. With everything from cancelled flights to delays in passports, work obligations, all of the rest of it, health. A massive shout out to Bubba for dropping us off at the airport last minute. We stayed positive, we stayed faithful, and most importantly, we trusted God that he would make a way. So Ishmael is a really, really nervous flyer. So we had to prep him with natural remedies, the travel calm, the earplugs. We did a lot of mindset activities and exercises prior to getting on board, but it was a really, really packed flight, so we were a bit iffy about how it would all go. He did amazingly well. I got a bit anxious because of the on again, off again thing. We were seated right at the very back, so they ran out of food. Salmon flight, what do you expect? Did our breathing exercise, did our prayers as we were taking off, tried to walk him through all of his anxiety issues, and pretty much it was a great departure. I cannot tell you how relieved I was that he slept for most of the flight, because that was probably the most nerve-wracking thing, was experiencing turbulence, because we knew that there was rain expected. Thankfully, he slept through all of the turbulence, and he was really shocked when I woke him up to say that we had finally landed in Samoa. And we landed into a very wet and rainy Samoa, but praise God, we arrived all safely. It's that hustle and bustle for me when the plane actually stops and everyone tries to rush as if someone's going to get left behind. The walkout was very surreal. It was so beautiful to see him look around and to experience that first time that he'll always remember of arriving to Samoa. Travelator was out, so obviously everyone was rushing down to get their money exchange and do the thing. These guys cracked me up because we arrived on a public holiday, so if you know, you know, you're in Samoa when you hear these guys. What I've learned, it's really hard to capture the key moments, especially when you're trying to luggage around. So we're finally departing and we're picking up our car. Shout out to Lani, because we did have a really packed flight, so they did have to wait quite a while. We were provided with a really beautiful Lexus, and my highlight was that it was a hybrid, because Samoa petrol prices, if you know, you know, it's epic. And this is that classic moment when you let all of the elements of Samoa kick in, humidity, gear the aircon, try and figure out a new vehicle. It's also hubby's prime time for his war stories of when he used to work at Faleolo. All those moons ago. So when we're paying normally for the parking to leave, it's always like, do you get a receipt or not? Or you're not getting a receipt, because if you know, you know. If you don't have a receipt, they've kept it for their lunch. Mulifanga Wharf was just off the chain. So many cars waiting from our flight to go to Savai. As we got closer to home, it was really beautiful to see all of the villages that had done up, the appearances and things for the Chogam. We had an amazing time learning all the flags while we were there. So Tui Lufi were obviously repping Tuvalu, and I have a lot of Tuvalu family, so that was exciting for me to be able to share with them. As we got closer to home, it started to sink in, just the amount of love, support, financial support, emotional, everything that our families had provided for us to make the trip there. And then Ishy started to get really emotional, because my mum-in-law has got breast cancer and she has been battling that for over a year and a half. And he realised that we were just around the corner from seeing her. So as we turn into the gate, it is absolutely not lost on us the amount of prayers and support that were given and we were covered with to make this trip happen, especially for Ishy. It was a very surreal moment to turn that corner and to realise that Nana and Papa were there. After 6 long years, they're finally back together.